Hey, Cub fans. Welcome back to Cubs 24/7, where Randy talks Cubs. Cubs win tonight 3-2 in 11 innings, taking the first game of the three-game set against the Diamondbacks. So that's really a good situation. And 11 inning affair. There was a couple times when it didn't look good, but we end up pulling it out. So we got the jump on the Diamondbacks, and hopefully we can continue that. Let's get into it. Let's start with the lineups. Ian Happ led off left field. Dansby was at shortstop, and Dansby was hitting second because Seiya Suzuki went on the disabled list. Seiya has a strained right oblique. He got it in his last at bat running the bases, which is kind of interesting for an oblique injury. You normally think of those with some type of a core torque, but he did it just running. And so I don't know. I know obliques take a while. He had the left oblique last year and missed quite a bit of time. So I guess from what he says, it doesn't feel as bad as the one he did last year. But it looks like we're going to be without Seiya. In response, the Cubs call up Alexander Canario from Iowa. So they moved Dansby to the second spot. So Dansby's hitting second, playing short tonight. Belly back in center field, hitting third. Morrell at third base, cleanup. Busch, first base in the 5-hole. And Garrett Cooper got a start at DH tonight in the 6th hole. Nico was at second base again, hitting 7th. Talk was in right field, hitting 8th. And Miguel Amaya got the start behind the plate, hitting 9th. We scored 3 runs, got 1 run in the 2nd inning, and then we didn't score all the way till the 9th. We got another one, and then got the winning run in the top of the 11th. Ended up with 9 hits total, 5 walks, 11 strikeouts. We left 12 on base total, and 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position. So let's talk about the scoring. Michael Busch hit another home run. 2nd inning, and 419-foot monster to the right center field gap. He joins the elite club of Cubs who have previously hit home runs in 5 consecutive games. Hack Wilson, Ryan Sandberg, Sammy Sosa, Christopher Morel, and now Michael Busch. So Michael Busch continues to be red hot, and he's really been carrying us offensively for the last week or so. We got another run in the 9th inning. Nico Horner sort of saved the day. 9th inning, Nico's on first base, he gets on with a single. Talk follows him with a single. So we got Talk on first and Nico on second base. And there's 2 outs. We're down a run. So it's top of the 9th. We're down a run. There's 2 outs. Nico's on second. So he's really aggressive, and he's looking to figure out how to score somehow. So we got a wild pitch. The wild pitch hits the catcher sort of on the knee so that it ricochets away from him. Goes all the way to the backstop toward our dugout on the first base side. Well, Nico gets a great jump on the wild pitch. He's running. He gets about 3/4 of the way to third base, and he's watching the whole time. And the catcher doesn't know exactly where the ball went. Catcher looks around a couple times. Nico sees it. He just decides to keep coming. He wasn't waved in. He didn't stop. He just kept coming. And by the time the catcher found it, corralled it, and threw to the pitcher covering the plate, Nico was sliding in head first, dragging his left hand over the plate to tie it up at 2 in the 9th. We got the winning run, the 3rd run in the 11th. Now remember, it's extra innings, so we've got a runner on second to start the game or start the inning. Michael Busch walked. Garrett Cooper got his 2nd hit of the night. We'll talk about his night here in a little bit. Cooper singles. So we've got bases loaded, no outs in the top of the 11th. And we end up getting just the 1 run. Nico singles to right, line drive. Nico had a pretty good night to score Madrigal, who had made the last out for our 3rd run. So we still, at this point, we've got bases loaded and no outs, and we just got the 1 run in. And then Talk grounds out to the first baseman who comes home for a force, and then Gomes and Ian Happ back-to-back strike out with the bases loaded. So even though we got that one run in the 11th inning, with the way that extra innings play today, that one run just doesn't mean that much. And the Diamondbacks had 2, 3, 4 coming up in the bottom of the 11th. So it wasn't looking good, I didn't think, leaving the bases loaded and just getting the one run pushed across. But we ended up getting it done. So the pitchers were great. We'll get to those guys in a second. Let's talk about the lineup. Ian Happ went 1 for 6 tonight. Ian is struggling. Struck out with the bases loaded in the 11th inning. 1 for 6, but his one hit in the third inning, he hit a 4-hopper down the third baseline. Didn't hit it hard, but they had shifted on him. So Eugenio Suarez, third baseman, was playing over near shortstop, so he just couldn't get there. But Ian didn't hit that ball hard. So Ian went 1 for 6, but it was really an 0 for 6 to me. Dansby went 0 for 5 tonight. Belly went 1 for 3 with a couple of walks, and I just made a note. He hit the ball hard in the 6th inning on a fly out to center, and then he singled in the 8th, and he hit that ball a little bit off the end of the bat, but at least he got it through the infield. So Belly, he's still not quite there, but he did hit the ball. I'll say he hit the ball hard maybe twice tonight. Christopher Morel is hitting the ball pretty well, but he's just not getting rewarded for it. He went 0 for 4 tonight, and he hit the ball hard in the first inning. One hop to shortstop, about 105-mile-an-hour exit velocity. And then in the 8th inning, he lines out to the left fielder, and it was a line drive. It was just, he smoked it right off the barrel. So his 0 for 4 doesn't really describe what he did and what he looked like tonight. He hit the ball hard on the button twice. Michael Busch went 1 for 3 with a couple of walks, the home run. Garrett Cooper had a bunch of good at-bats tonight. He went 2 for 5, and his single in the 7th, his line drive single in the 11th inning was critical, but he just put some at-bats together. I'm going to predict Garrett Cooper is in the lineup tomorrow night DHing. You gotta let him run. He looked really good. Every at bat, he was never out of it, and he looked like he was right there. And he ends up going 2 for 5, and that was a big single that he got in the 11th inning. So I look for Garrett to be back in the lineup at DH tomorrow, especially against this lefty that the Diamondbacks are throwing. Nico went 2 for 4. Looked better, but he struck out in the 2nd, chased the ball way out of the strike zone on a swinging strike. Got hit by a pitch in the 7th. In the 9th and the 11th, they got singles. So, and then scored that. And Nico made some nice plays in the field. So Nico had a nice game. Good to see. Talk went 1 for 5. Struck out in his first 3 plate appearances. And so a little bit of a struggle. Ended up getting his hit in the 9th inning. Miguel Amaya went 1 for 3, had a single in the 5th. And we had some guys come in and get some at-bats. Miles had a pinch hitting assignment in the 9th inning that he just struck out. He's like, it was overmatched. Pinch hitting's hard. So he came in, this guy's throwing gas, and it was overmatching for Miles in the 9th. Gomes came in, had that one at-bat in the 11th. He struck out. And Nick Madrigal came in for defensive replacement for Morel after Morel's at bat in the 8th, and so they put Madrigal in the bottom of the 8th, and I guess my point would be it was too early because Madrigal got an at bat in the 10th and hit into a little paltry 6-4-3 double play, and that would have been Morel's at bat. Had he waited. He just put Madrigal in too soon. We need offense, and Morel's at bat came up in the 10th, and bases loaded, and Madrigal hits into a 6-4-3 DP. So you can tell I'm probably not over that. I think he needs to calm down. I don't mind putting Madrigal in when we're up 2 or 3, but if there's a chance that we're going to need an at bat out of Morel, I don't want to see it. So that's what happened. So that's offense. That's where we are. Let's talk about the pitchers. Ben Brown was awesome tonight. I'll give you his total line. He pitched a total of 6 innings, gave up 1 hit, just 1 run, walked 2, and struck out 4. Pretty efficient. 84 pitches total, 53 strikes. And the run that he gave up was in the second inning, when his second inning went like this: a walk, a pop-up to shortstop, and a strikeout, another walk, and then an RBI single. So the walks got him in the second inning, but he was just throwing upper 90s fastball, power curveball. I think his best inning was the 5th inning. 13 pitches, 10 strikes, just cruising. Had a couple of plays that benefited him. Nico caught a line drive in the 6th inning, diving stop. Christopher Morel had a good play. Had to cover a high hopper. He ranged over in front of shortstop to pick it up, and then threw about a 98-mile-an-hour heater over to Busch to get the guy. So Ben had a couple of good plays behind him, but mostly Ben Brown was just really good. It looks like we've got something since that first outing that he struggled a little bit against the Rangers. He's been good. So we got what we needed from Ben Brown. He actually was in the game longer than the Diamondbacks starter. Luke Little came in, got the 7th. He goes 3 and out, 12 pitches, 9 strikes. Luke got a 6-3 ground out, a strikeout swing, and another 6-3 ground out. So his night is done. Drew Smyly came in, pitched the 8th. He gave up the tying run in the bottom of the 8th. His inning went fly out to right field. Talk made a really nice play to start that inning. Guy hits a little sinking line drive or a slow pop-up off the end of the bat. Nico's not going to get there, so he peels off pretty early. Talk comes in, makes a diving catch, full layout, catches it to get the first out for Drew. Then Drew gives up a double, comes back with a strikeout, intentionally walked a guy, then had a wild pitch, and then gave up an RBI single with 2 outs to Corbin to give up the run. So Drew, he looked okay. Just circumstances, I think, got him. But Drew looked good. He was throwing in the mid-90s, too. His velocity is way up. Hector came in and got the 9th inning. He goes first batter goes 4-3 ground out. Hector walks the next guy, and he gets caught stealing, and then he gets a ground out to Dansby to get out of it. Then Keegan comes in, pitches the 10th and the 11th, and looked really good. 29 pitches total, 15 strikes. So it wasn't really pounding the strike zone, but he was trying to throw that strike to ball slide piece, and he was really sort of committed to that tonight. So he pitches well. 10th inning, he walks the first guy, strikeout, gets a couple flyouts to center to get out of it. And then the 11th inning, when we needed him, gets a 3 unassisted ground out, fly out to Talk in right, and then he struck out the last guy to get to finish, get the win. So I was really impressed. Our pitchers were really good, and the kids, Ben and Luke and Keegan doing what they did, and Busch doing what he did tonight. Nico playing better. So there's some signs. I look for Cooper to be in the lineup tomorrow. We're going to see about Canario. Canario came in, pinch ran for, I'm not sure who he pinch ran for, but he came in and he pinch ran for somebody in the late innings, but that's all the look that Canario got. So we'll see what they do with right field tomorrow. I imagine the lefty, it's probably going to be Canario in right field with that lefty starting and Cooper at DH. It's probably what I think we can look forward to seeing. A couple other side notes. Kenny Holtzman, for you guys that are of age, you'll know, the Kenny Holtzman no-hitter. I was, like 8 or 9. I remember seeing it. Kenny was on the team. That was really one of my first Cub memorable experiences, and I was a big fan of Kenny Holtzman. Good career. He passed away yesterday. So Cub Hall of Famer Kenny Holtzman. And Jameson Taillon is with the Cubs. He was in the dugout tonight. He pitched a 35-pitch bullpen session today, so he's on the mend. He should be coming back pretty soon. So that's all good news. Luke Little, just a side note, Luke Little, his K that he got in the 7th inning, struck out Jock Peterson, former Cub, and Jock had entered the game not having a strikeout. So Luke was the first guy to get Jock on strikes this season. I thought that was kind of cool. Just something I popped into my head, thought you guys want to know. So we're in good shape, guys. Ready to go. We've got Kyle Hendricks going tomorrow. I couldn't be more interested. Must-see TV tomorrow night. What are we going to get? But winning tonight really sets us up. So I feel like we're playing with house money right now. So very optimistic. Again, Cubs 3-2 over the Diamondbacks in 11 innings. And appreciate you guys checking us out here on Randy Talks Cubs. Go Cubs, go.